Welcome to day 3 of the Rocket and Raygun Awards. We caught you, didn't we? Jose, gave you a heart attack.
Ready? Countdown or something.
We have no way to give countdowns. I'm the control room. I'm the
like
guy.
The
no,
like,
I can't do that. I'm looking at the clock.
Your hands, bro. Your hands broken.
My hands are broken. I can't do it. My buddy, my brother from another mother, Jose Sanchez, is here. DonFubar is in the house. Hands up. Yeah. I see your hands up. Yo. The dog pound. Nobody remembers the dog pound. Jose remembers it. So I feel like we're broadcasting live from the production trailer on Hollywood Boulevard. It's time for day 3 of the Rocket and Raygun Awards. We've been having a blast with this format. Thank you for your support and kind words.
You're welcome.
They mean everything. And also, huge thank you to all of the contributors out there, the EPN community, of course, but people across the media landscape and people that, are actors and are in other fields as well, across games. And it's just been really cool. It's been really, really fun to put all of this stuff together and to get all of these little bits of video in. I'm doing my best to get as much of this content into these shows as I possibly can. The clock is always ticking, but we've got tons of fun things to talk about, and we've talked a little bit about the PlayStation and Nintendo Awards already with Bear Safi and with Sean Hatton, 2 fantastic guest co-hosts. But today it's all about the Xbox, and I see you wore the appropriate shirt, my friend.
Shout out
representing.
To the homies. That's right, Gears.
Which Gears is the best? Which is your favorite out of all of them?
Gears 2 probably.
Why is that?
The first one was, because it was a good follow-up. Like, it's rare that, you get that sick experience that was like the same multiplayer experience with the co-opness. And like both of my roommates, we had Xboxes, so we would play, like we could play on the same console, but we just play on our own. So
that's awesome.
It was just, it was a solid follow-up. And I remember like,
let's get some fire on those locusts.
I love what the Coalition has been doing with Gears 5, though, with upscaling everything and just making it beautiful on Xbox Series X.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And it looks great.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like my homies, they just got made us DLC characters.
That's
the
so
New
cool.
Day from WWE. So now they're.
Do you know all those guys? Have you met them all?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Those are the fam.
That is so cool. Are you friends with Austin Creed, the new guy?
Yeah, that's him. He's the guy in the shirt.
Oh my God, that's amazing. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
He has 2 names, Xavier Woods and
Xavier Woods
Austin.
is his wrestling name. Austin Creed is his.
That could totally confuse me because everybody was talking about him on the chat. Because I don't follow the wrestling. That's honestly how we got Foobs in the show, because we kept getting invited to wrestling things. And
that's how legends were created.
That's right.
And now here we
had
are.
no idea what the hell to say to these folks because we didn't play these games, but there's our legend right there. All right, we are going to get started with indie nominees, and we're going to talk about the best indie game in a bit.
Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, those are excellent indie games, yes. Well, let's take a look at our nominees. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Developed by Moon Studios, published by Xbox Game Studios, directed by Thomas Mahler. Spelunky 2, developed by Mossmouth and Blitworks, published by Mossmouth, game directed by Derek Yu. Hades, developed and published by Supergiant Games, and the game director was Greg Kasavin. Streets of Rage 4, developed by .emu, Lizard Cube, Guard Crush Games, and published by .emu. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, developed by Mediatonic, published by Devolver, and directed by Jamie Riding. So you take a look at those nominees, the games on that list. Not only are they incredible indie games, but truly they are some of the best games of the year. Your baby, the one you're always talking about, is that Mr. Spelunky?
That's him.
That's him
before
right
the beard.
there.
That's the old school Victor Lucas circa 2003 look.
Dude, that's what I would look like in an Indiana Jones outfit.
That's pretty much it.
That's it right there, isn't it?
That's him.
Tell the world why Spelunky 2 is your pick for game of the... Well, your obsession, at least. Why do you love it so much?
Because I waited so long for it. God, it took forever, man. The Spelunky guy grew a beard. That's how long I waited for the game. No, I mean, it does such a fantastic job of taking everything the first game did and elevating it beyond what I thought. Like, I remember the first few times I played through Spelunky 2, I was like, oh, they're doing this. Like the boss, like one of the main bosses from the first Spelunky is like first level boss. You're like, wait, what? Your first world boss? This is what's happening? You're coming in hot real quick?
So you got to come with your game, but you stream. Have you beaten this? You've done the runs like crazy. That sounds bad. That sounds dirty.
I finished the game. It took me 100-something tries before I finished the game, like just the normal way you finish it.
Right.
I still haven't gotten to the super. The last time I streamed it, I was like, I'll just fire it up because I took like a week off because I've been playing other things.
Yeah.
And I got to like the secret area, the layer I couldn't get through. And I first try, I was like, oh my God, I've done it. I did it. Died first level in the new area. I was like, damn it. I don't know what else to expect. It takes like 35, 40 minutes to get to that secret area or whatever.
Yeah.
But so satisfying. It's just one of those things. It's like, there's still so many things in that game I've yet to do.
Yes.
And I played it
most of it is made by one person, right? Derek Yu.
Yeah. DU.
Yeah. That's incredible. Incredible.
D-douchebag is what I call him. All the treachery he put in that, all the stupid moles in those games.
I'm noticing that Spelunky 2 making you a little more heated, a little more angry than the first one.
Yeah, well, even the first Spelunky is like Dark Souls 2 for me. It took a while to get going, and I was like, okay, yeah, yes. I get it. It repeats itself after a while. It's just going to be the same thing, and then you're like, oh my God, there's what? There's this secret, and there's still secrets I find that I'm like, wait, what is that? What is being done? I don't even know. So good.
I didn't plan this. This wasn't on purpose, but the indie category is in the same episode as we're talking about the Xbox games. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting that so many of these indies are available on Game Pass. Well, at least a couple of them. Streets of Rage 4.
Streets of Rage 4, yeah.
Which is so much fun. We've heard people talk about that for game memories of 2020 quite often. What did you think of Streets of Rage 4?
Like, because it was one of those things I hadn't expected to see Streets of Rage again.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, yeah. Same with like Battletoads. You're just like, oh, wait.
I know.
What? They're like, what? And then they got Perfect Dark getting announced. You're like, wait, what's happening to this world that we live in? What is it? What else is coming back? Let's bring back
never
Splinter
die.
Cell.
They never die. They come back. And what's interesting, like Battletoads was handled by an indie team offside of Rare. I didn't love that game, but I love the intention and I love the passion behind it. But I did fully love Streets of Rage 4. I thought that the collection of devs that worked on that game really knew what they wanted to do, and they kind of navigated through the hate because once the first art style was kind of released, people were really up in arms about the non-pixelated
as
look.
The internet does.
Yes, have you noticed that? But it's an incredible game, and it's also so fun to play with someone else. And I played with my kid, and we just had a blast with it. And she had played a bunch
out of people with your kid.
We had played the Genesis games, and we really enjoyed them. So it was a nice kind of onboard into this super slick game. But the other game that's on Game Pass that I'm sure everybody that's got an Xbox has dived into or dove into and has had a wonderful time with is Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which we were talking about sequels that don't really don't always
live up to the original.
Yeah, don't always kind of take us to another level, but this one certainly did. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I went through and right before I think it was either right before it came out or right when I was coming out. I went through and streamed and finished the first one again. Just because it's such I mean, I'm a big fan of the Metroidvania style aesthetic to video games, especially when it's done right. And this game does it so well. And then the second one was just like, what's up? It's like, I'm not crying. It's dusty. It's the wisps. There's wisps in my eyes.
Yeah,
There's a soft wisp.
That's the incredible thing is that they, with the beautiful music and the lush visuals and all of the character art and animation, it takes your breath away. It's gorgeous. But of course, the Fall Guys sort of juggernaut, I think, really boosted by the fact that it became a PlayStation 4 freebie. So everybody was able to kind of try it out for a while. And it became an obsession. It was everywhere. I was really, really taken aback by how clever it was when I was introduced to it at the previous E3. And then when we got the final game and got hands-on, it was instantly addicting. I don't
It's
know if
just,
it's.
I love how it's a quick experience too. It's not like
Yes.
something that you need to like, I mean, you can play it for a very long time,
Yep.
but the overall experience of like, you either lose really quickly or you're edging your way out, but it's not like it's going to be a 30, 45 minute, extravaganza. You're like, all right, cool. 10, 15 minutes, a match is done, maybe, or a minute.
Well, and like the game shows, like the TV game shows that it tries to emulate in video game form, it also leaves you with stories to talk about afterwards. Like you recount how you almost got the crown, or you got knocked off by
Climb that
something.
mountain, I was so close.
Yes, you have stories, which is so cool. But I don't know if it's got the staying power. I feel like it came out so hot and so strong, but I don't know if people are going to stay with this. I guess it's all up to Mediatonic to keep adding,
I mean, I have
bits.
the PC on the PC version. I just got my Jeff Keighley face
Oh,
for watching
okay.
the Game Awards. So
Nice.
I might have to dive back in and get
Gotta go
Keighley to
back.
the top of that mountain.
So they put the Keeley face in Fall Guys as well as Among Us?
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Never mind. Scratch that. Reverse it. That was a lie.
Well-
Everything I
well-
said was a lie.
We'll edit that out.
It
in
should be.
post. There's no post.
There's no post.
There is
I want
no
Jeff
post.
Keighley's face in Fall Guys.
I'm sure that deal could be worked out. But our
I want to have this version of Jeff Keighley.
okay,
That's
all
what I
right.
want.
Well, call Derek Yu. You must have him in your first 5 on your phone.
On my MySpace. He's in
On your
my
he's
top
on your
8.
MySpace. Okay, cool. Well, and that leaves one game that we haven't talked about, and it's our winner, and that is Hades from Supergiant Games. Congratulations, you're our Rocket and Raygun winner this year. Incredible game. It was up for one of the Game of the Year spots at the Game Awards. Everybody is raving about this. I saw that Polygon had given it their Game of the Year, and it's really, really lovely. And Supergiant always embellishes their work with incredible storytelling and beautiful music, and that's definitely the case here again. It's also incredibly addictive, like Spelunky.
I mean, that's what everybody, when I was streaming Spelunky, was like, have you played Hades? Have you played Hades? Have you played Hades? And I was like, not yet. I'm waiting until I get my Spelunky fix in, and then I'll dive into it. And then I got Hades on my PC and my Switch because I was like, oh, I need to take this with me on the go.
It's an excellent Switch game.
It's so good.
Yes.
You know what else is going to be good? Spelunky 2 when it comes out next year with Spelunky 1 on the Switch next summer.
Oh, well, there you go. Is that an exclusive? Is
Nope.
that
I read
one
that
of
on
our
Twitter.
exclusives in the Rocket and Reagan Awards?
That's it, guys.
Should
That's
we
right.
make an exclusive world premiere?
Spelunky 1, Spelunky 2, Nintendo Switch Summer 2021.
I love it. I love it. I think that's fantastic. Well, we are live, and thank you all for joining us. And it's good to see everybody in here. I see we've got Warren SE and Pathetic Earthling and Mr. Mass Produce, JBJ Blaze, Hubert Barton, Adrian Leon. Good to see you guys. What's a YouTube? And Jose Sanchez. Who's that handsome D-bag with such chiseled features? Is that me? Are you talking about me?
Man, I don't know. It's open for interpretation.
It's a kind of a weird question because it's an insult and it's also kind of flattering. Wow.
It depends on what the D and D bag means.
True.
Maybe like dope person bag. Like they're just a bag of dope people.
I love it. Okay. Well, listen, we've been doing this all week, but we're only sort of midweek, but it's been really fun. We've been talking to people, asking them to give us some memories from 2020 that weren't so bad about video games that helped kind of uplift their spirits. And we've got a brand new one for you to take a look at right now.
Turbo857 here, and one game that was definitely a bright spot for me in 2020 would have to be Battletoads Reboot for the Xbox One. When me and the rest of the guys from Level 857 saw the very first trailer, we weren't really on board with the art style, and we had some doubts about the game, but boy were we wrong. And we changed our opinions once we fired that game up. We had a lot of fun with it. We were laughing from beginning to end. It's definitely the best Battletoads game. It plays amazing. The combos, everything is tight. But that script, the humor, and just the personality and the story, the way it all came together, Delilah Studios did an excellent job. Can't wait for the sequel, but Battletoads.
My favorite gaming memory for 2020 was playing an oldie but a goodie, Red Dead Redemption 2. I tried to get into this game many times in the past, but found the controls clunky and the gameplay slow. This autumn though, when I was feeling really trapped in the city, the game allowed me to experience the wilderness. Fishing, hunting, camping, and exploring. It's been a great ride, and I've managed to become a decent gunslinger. Falling in love with RDR2, my favorite gaming memory of 2020.
Hey everybody, Andrew Renee here for What's Good Games. Looking back at 2020, the one game that really helped me get through this year and deal with all of the pressures that we all were dealing with was Animal Crossing New Horizons. So I have never played Animal Crossing before and wasn't really interested, but I had a friend who really encouraged me to play, and boy was I surprised when I just fell in love with this game. It became my comfort food, the thing that I would go to when I needed an escape, when I needed to not think about all the stresses happening in the world. I would boot up my Nintendo Switch and start planting more flowers or talking to my villagers, or I would head to Nookazon to get all the items I was looking for. The decorating and the soothing aspect of that really helped me find a place where I could decompress in this crazy year in a way that I never thought possible. And here I am enjoying the holiday event, Toy Day on the horizon, and over 600 hours into Animal Crossing, and I never would have saw that coming. So if you have yet to try Animal Crossing New Horizon, I cannot recommend it enough as a game that is going to be a really fun thing to have around the holidays when you're sitting by the fire, drinking your hot cocoa, and just need that comfort food game.
One of the most memorable gaming experiences I've had this year was playing Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remastered. Most of the original soundtrack is in the game, and I feel like I'm 12 again. It's amazing. That original soundtrack introduced me to all kinds of new genres. It really brought me back to playing it for the first time on the Dreamcast and sitting next to my mom, showing off all the special moves I could do. And I gotta say thank you to Activision and Vicarious Visions for this beautiful trip down memory lane and also making the games accessible to a brand new generation.
Got this note from Gervais Branch Allen. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake this year as my first Final Fantasy after getting swept up by all the hype. At the beginning of the game, when Cloud is approached by two Shinra guards, I slash them with my Buster Sword. The rapid slashes of the blade and the extraordinary rendition of Let the Battles Begin made me feel so powerful. I was blown away. What an introduction to this series.
Hey everyone, Michael Huber here from Easy Allies. One of my favorite moments of 2020 has to be the revival of Streets of Rage. This is one of my favorite series ever, and it had been gone for decades. And I just have such fond memories of playing in my living room with my friends, my brother. So the fact that this series came back and how good it ended up being was an absolute win for 2020.
Two of the games that helped me get through all the craziness this year were Animal Crossing and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Normally I'm a bigger fan of the darker, grittier kind of games, but this year the lighthearted stuff stuck out. And it was fun to watch my girlfriend sink hours on end and getting lost in the world of Animal Crossing when that first came out. And when Spider-Man Miles Morales came out, her and I played through about the first 2 or 3 hours of the game together. And it was fun to experience it for the first time with somebody else, because I didn't really have that with the last game. It was just me playing on my own. So it was neat to have someone to laugh at the game with, well, through all the funny moments like J. Jonah Jameson dressed up as Santa Claus, freaking out about Spider-Man. And it was cool to just get lost in that world together with somebody else.
2020 has been an incredibly difficult year for everyone. It's just one of those years that's unprecedented in history. Games have been a big part of my life forever and really meaningful to me. I think, I can't say enough about how great the Insomniac Games team is, and they did one of the kindest, most thoughtful things this year while we were developing Marvel Spider-Man's Miles Morales. We needed to put up some holiday decorations and throughout this, the city, and I jokingly said I'd love to see a dog in a Christmas sweater, and so one of the kind folks over at PlayStation, Joe, he sent in a photo of my dog Griffey here to the Insomniac team, and they decided to muralize it and they put it in game. And you actually can find Griffey's mural on a building in Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is just amazing and thoughtful and kind, and I can't say enough words about it. It really helped me get through 2020, and it's going to be a great lasting memory for years to come.
You know you're doing something right if you get your dog into a Spider-Man video game. Eric, thank you so much for being a part of that video, and Andrea, Renee, wonderful. I was really impressed by Chris and Color's comments there. They got to me when he was talking about sitting on the couch beside his mom, showing her some of the tricks that he was learning in Tony Hawk on the Dreamcast. That was quite lovely. There's been a lot of those moments where I've just sat back from it's all in my edit timelines, but I'm really touched and I'm moved by what people have been contributing. It's turned out really well, and I'm really grateful that so many of you have played with me on this one. It's very fun.
Y'all shucks.
Yeah, that you got anything to say?
You're so sweet.
Sentimentality is not your forte.
Nope.
Do you have a memory? Do you have a gaming memory from 2020? Was it streaming Spelunky 2 and having your community rally around you?
I mean, it was getting to actually play Spelunky 2 at home. I mean, I played it at GDC. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but I was like, oh my God, it's coming. And then it didn't come. And then I had to wait. And then it finally came out. And I was like, you're everything I dreamed. The year of Spelunky 2 is here. How is it not game of the year? How?
Do you feel like you're alone in the universe talking about how
yes,
yeah,
it's just me.
Well, because I think it's just been lost in the next gen hype, right? Like these machines came out and they just stole all of our attention, So it's been kind of crazy for people to get there. People are talking about the Avengers right there. A lot of people sort of down on what that game kind of accomplished, but don't be surprised if it does pump up a little bit throughout the rest of the week. Love that Michael Huber cameo, by the way. Huge Easy Allies fan. That was from Gore the Movie God. He's an incredible guy. Every time I run into him at events and stuff, he's just such an awesome, genuine sweetheart of a dude, and he he's as fired up around this business and these games as I am, and Foobs is too. But I'm really grateful that the Easy Allies folks contributed and are a part of this. It's really like we've assembled a huge team with Easy Allies and Kind of Funny and IGN and GameSpot and What's Good Games. Level 857.
It's like you're Nick Fury without the eye patch.
Yeah, I guess so. Yes, right. Or I'm the older Captain America, the older Steve Rogers at the end of Endgame. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't gonna pit you that old. But
I know.
I didn't want to go ahead and take that route.
That's okay. I took it. It's all good. All right. Let us move on to our next category, which is the family-friendly universe. These are games that you can play with your kids.
Next.
If you. Oh, we're skipping right to the Xbox. Yeah. Wait a second. Wait a minute. You're going to be all about this category
next year.
Yeah, baby.
Woo!
Congratulations. We haven't been able to actually do this in person. I just sent you some social media messages, but you're having a baby. It's a baby girl?
Baby girl.
Amazing.
She's 14 weeks away.
Girl Dad Club. I love it.
Hashtag Girl Dad.
I love it, man. That's awesome. 14 weeks away?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I just got a note. Well, it's funny because I signed my wife up for this subscription thing that sends pregnant women things every month. So they have something. So it's like their gift to them, but they call me and like leave messages like, "Hey mom to be," and I'm like, not wrong. The name on is a Jose. It's not, I'm not. Hope you're feeling good, mom. I'm feeling fantastic. I feel great.
You're integrated into all of that, and it is the best thing in the world. So what month roughly is she coming then?
March.
She's coming in March. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool. A spring baby. You must be so nervous and so excited and so...
I'm beyond pumped. She kicked me in the face. We were watching wrestling the other day.
Yes.
She claymored me right in the face during a Drew McIntyre match, and I was like, that's my girl. That's my girl.
Man. Oh, man. You're going to be an incredible father, man.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to meet her. Hopefully that is a next year, formula. We'll find out.
It's definitely going to be a next year exclusive.
Yes. My buddy Johnny Millennium had a baby this year, baby girl, and I haven't met her yet because of this damn virus. But that's amazing news, and I'm so freaking happy for you. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, man. I'm excited.
Okay. Well, speaking of families, let's take a look at the nominees for Best Family Game of 2020. Tetris Effect Connected, developed by Monstars, Resonair, and Stage Games, published by Enhance Games, directed by Takashi Ishihara. Paper Mario: The Origami King, developed by Intelligent Systems, published by Nintendo, directed by Masahiko Nagaya. Animal Crossing: New Horizons, developed and published by Nintendo, game directed by Aya Kyogoku. Fall Guys: Ultimate Knockout, developed by Mediatonic, published by Devolver, and directed by Jamie Riding. Minecraft Dungeons, developed by Mojang Studios and Double 11, published by Xbox Game Studios, directed by Mons Olsen. I'm also going to give out a special kind of recognition to Astro's Playroom, which is the pack-in for the PlayStation 5. I almost thought about putting that in, but it's certainly an extraordinary game, but it's because it's a pack-in and it's really not a full game. I went in a different direction, but I don't know. Did you get a chance to try Minecraft Dungeon?
No.
Oh, it's super fun.
No.
It's a super fun game. I played it with my daughter, and they keep adding to it as Minecraft games are wont to do.
I was late on the original Minecraft train too. Like I was just like, nah. And then Ben and I had to review it, and I was like, fine, I'll dive into it. And I was like, I'm just sitting here digging.
Yeah.
He's like, build a shovel, and I was like, where does it teach me to do that? I don't know.
There's none of that in Minecraft Dungeons. It's a straight, blocky Diablo clone. But it's filled with lots of customization options with your characters. It's like a loot galore in that game, but really clever level design and great music and great atmosphere. It's a really, really cool game. And of course, it's part of Xbox Game Pass.
Of course.
Fall Guys is in that list, of course, which is, I think, a phenomenal game, but a missed opportunity to not make that one a split screen experience locally, unless it's been patched. I don't know if it has, but when I played it, that was one of my complaints about it.
I don't have friends in my house, so
oh right,
it doesn't matter to me. You will. I can't have people over, Vic. Okay.
Well, give it 5 years, and you're going to have a little buddy playing games with you, and it's going to blow your freaking mind. Now my kid plays everything with me, and every time we record footage that needs some co-op play, and sometimes she's included in some of the reviews and stuff, and it's really remarkable. So she played a little Paper Mario and the Origami King with me, and it's really fun to share experiences like that. That game also could have benefited, I think, from a little multiplayer, but it's a great, surprisingly emotional and surprisingly deep role-playing experience that's so accessible and cartoony and cute, but a really, really wonderful game. Tetris Effect Connected.
So good.
God, it's so amazing. Good. It's amazing.
It's so good.
I know.
It's I don't understand. It's Tetris.
Yes.
Still Tetris. Still what it was in like 89.
I got to tell you, because it's all about multiplayer, right? And so that is a local one, and that's also going to be patched into the existing Tetris Effect games that are out there right now, because you can play it in VR and you can play it on PlayStation 4 and PC. It's all over the place. But Xbox got the exclusive launch of Connected. And I have to tell you, that trailer was probably the most effective trailer I saw in 2020.
Tetris Affected?
Yeah. It was so affected. Yeah, so Tetris Affected.
Tetris Affected.
With just the music and everybody sitting there playing the game together and they're sort of grooving. It was just one, and it was all, it was Mark McDonald and Tetsuya Mizuguchi and Alexei Pajitnov. Well, all of these people that we see in different areas across the game industry, they're all just sort of grooving to the game, and it was, and the music's amazing in that game as well.
Of course, yeah.
But I think you guys can probably predict the family game of 2020. You're probably going to see this game quite a bit in the Rocket and Rayguns this week. It's Animal Crossing: New Horizons. I think it's going to be a hit. This game, this Animal. I think people are going to.
I don't know. I think it got the benefit. It got the benefit of quarantine.
Yeah.
People had nothing else to do but slang bells on the black market. Not me, sir. I'm not joining that gambling hype train.
Wait a minute. Yes, you did.
Nope.
You did not play Animal Crossing: New
Nope.
Horizons? Yes,
sure didn't.
You did.
Nope.
You got to do it. Wow. Holy mackerel.
I was playing Dead Cells.
You're the only one. You.
Just me. I'm the holdout.
You're why the last man. You are.
It could have been game of the year, except for why Jose. That's why.
I cannot believe you have not played this game. I thought it was
I don't have the time, Vic. I have literally nowhere to go.
I thought if you
place to be, and I don't have the time for Animal Crossing.
I thought if you had picked up a controller at any time in your existence, you had to have played Animal Crossing: New Horizons. It was the law, but apparently not.
New?
Oh,
Okay.
wait a minute. Wilden says he hasn't played it either. So
That's
it's
right,
just
Wilden.
You two. It's Wilden and Jose are the only two that haven't. So Nintendo, get your marketing on it. No, but seriously, it's an incredible game, and certainly the first 400 hours or so. What was Andrea talking about? 600 hours that she put into the game.
Obsessed much?
Well, everybody gets obsessed with it, and that first.
Not this guy.
Not well.
Nope.
You haven't. We got to give you a little taste.
You know what that is?
Give you
unacceptable.
No, it's an extraordinary game.
Blair Farrell also has not played it.
I was skeptical too. I was not the Animal Crossing guy. You know, it had come on other platforms, and I'd appreciated the ingenuity and the clever, art and the style and all that stuff.
You're a closet bell dealer. You're out there slinging bells.
I don't know if they'll ever be able to replicate what they did in this gen or with this game because of this year. I don't know if a sequel will have that reaction, that reception. But it was a necessary escape, I think. Not for a lot of people. I mean, it sold lots and lots of Switches, and it's one of the biggest games that Nintendo has ever made. And it satisfied everybody. I reviewed it, gave it a 10 out of 10, and I was as shocked as anybody. It was just amazing. And my kid still plays it almost every day. And she's always bugging me to go back in, but it's one of these games where you can't just go in for. It's like you with Spelunky. You can't go in for 15 minutes. You're in for an hour. You're going off and you're picking all your fruit and you're selling stuff and you're trying to raise your bank account and buying furniture. Sure. It's real life, man.
What's funny is I have an Animal Crossing Switch, but I don't have Animal Crossing.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's the Switch you have?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? How could you do that?
Every game I play is Animal Crossing,
Switch, and you don't play Animal Crossing. Oh my goodness, you are such a rebel. Such a rebel. I can't believe it. And you're making a lot of AC fans just really, really. Can you show us?
I played Assassin's Creed. It was great.
Okay, all right. Can you show us your Assassin's Creed or your Animal Crossing Switch?
It's in my living.
It's way over there. Okay, all right. Marco A didn't play it either. Okay, all right. Well, we're finding the club that didn't play Animal Crossing New Horizons, but congratulations, you are the family game winner of 2020 in the Rocket and Raygun Awards. But right now, it's time to take a look at some more gaming memories.
The game of the year that affected me the most, Immortals Fenyx Rising, for me, was the one because I had Immortals Fenyx Rising ready to go for about, a couple months of work, performance capture, a lot of it up in Montreal. I also had an animated movie that was getting ready to go, and a TV series that I was going to shoot. By middle of March, they all had stopped. So now what was looking like my year was going to be complete in terms of paying all my bills, everything got scrapped, and I was in a panic. And much like many, many people this year, I didn't know what I was going to do. They, to their credit, to Ubisoft's credit, when I thought I had lost the job, they said, we're going to work with you to do it in your sound studio with our mic and our tech. And they mailed me all this stuff, and we spent a couple of days trying to figure it out. And to their credit, they worked with me, and they literally saved probably my year. Things are have gotten back to normal since about October, because companies are learning to work with COVID, so we're kind of working up more. If I had to wait until October, if I didn't have the Immortals Fenyx Rising job over the summer, I would have been in big trouble. That game means a lot to me because of them. They went out of their way to save my year, really.
What made 2020 suck just a little bit less? The games. And the first game to help me get through the beginning of this pandemic was a big one. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Although I thoroughly enjoyed the original, I wasn't a fanatic. 4, 6, and 10 were my favorite. The grand scale of the world and characterization improvements brought back the heart that Final Fantasy was known for, and that was seemingly lacking in recent releases. I laughed, I cried, I stared at the screen in awe. It was amazing. It's something I didn't realize was possible, seeing as long as it took to realize. And I got more to look forward to because it's not even done yet. Amazing.
John from Mega Dads here, and while 2020 has been a big pile of dookie for the most part, one thing that has helped me get through it has been playing Animal Crossing New Horizons with my entire family. There really aren't that many games that my entire family can enjoy all together, but with Animal Crossing, myself, my wife, and both of my girls have loved checking in over the weeks, over the months, collecting apples and seashells and whatnot. And it's just been a joy just to unwind, turn our brains off, forget about the craziness of the outside world, and just live in this paradise as an entire family.
Got this note from Graham Coombe. My positive video gaming memory from this year is replaying Titanfall 2. There is something really magical about a video game experience that connects you profoundly with the characters involved. Being a part of BT's and Jack's journey through all of the challenges and struggles they faced and seeing the relationship they formed together honestly gets me emotional every time. It uplifts me to be a part of that every single time, and this year was definitely a year that I think we could all use an experience like that in our own lives. Huge shout out to the team at Respawn. They really built something beautiful.
Howdy, it's Wilden. I just wanted to say the best moment in gaming for me this year was finding out G4 was coming back, as well as discovering Electric Playground again. These two entities caused me to never stop playing video games, and as a result of that, I will always be playing games forever.
Untitled Goose Game came out last year on Switch and immediately became my 5-year-old daughter's favourite game to play. She loves just running around and causing chaos in a small English village. But this year, they launched a multiplayer expansion. I knew it was going to be exciting to play, but I didn't tell her anything about it. I kept it a big secret until the morning of the launch, updated the game and grabbed a second controller. And it was every bit the experience I was hoping for. We had so much fun and laughter, and we still play it today. But it's also watching my daughter teach her younger brother how to play. They play together and complete the little quests that they can. But mostly they're just causing chaos.
You see what I mean? We get to pop into people's lives like that. Dennis Ryan, you melted my heart with that video of your kids playing, what's it called?
Untitled Goose Game.
Untitled Goose Game. I was going to say Goose Goose. It should be called Goose Goose now that there's multiplayer in there.
Duck, duck, goose, goose.
It's so cute. I loved Elias's story as well. You know, there's been a lot, like Chester, who's in the chat today, there's been a lot of people just, getting real about the stuff that they've had to go through this year. Or have faced before, and the connection to how games, in many different ways, have helped to keep us sane and, made our lives better this year and throughout the years. I also thought it was pretty funny that Graham Coombe, who's in the chat right now, and Wilden, who's in the chat right now, both said, "Oh, I like these gaming memories," and then boop, the next thing that popped up was them, and I thought that was pretty good timing. Thank you guys. Great contributions. Thank you to the Mega Dads as well, and everybody that's been popping vids our way and comments our way. I do hope you're enjoying those. There's more to come. And then we're of course going to get to the game of the year on Friday, and there's lots of commentary about the best games of 2020.
Spelunky 2! Spoiler!
We're going to call the awards the Spelunky 2 Awards. I think is that all right? Should we just do that?
And you can only watch them on the Animal Cross Switch.
And they'll be hosted at Derek Yu's house. Yes, we'll just knock on the door.
He's gonna be like, "What the hell are you people doing here?"
Yeah, we'll just be dressed head to toe in PPE. We'll just barge right in with cameras. Hello, we're here for the Spelunky 2 Awards.
Woo, Spelunky.
I love it. Okay, listen, we've got the big one to get to. This is the best Xbox games of 2020. Let's take a look at the nominees. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Developed by Moon Studios, published by Xbox Game Studios, directed by Thomas Mahler. Tetris Effect Connected, developed by Monstars, Resonair, and Stage Games, published by Enhance Games, directed by Takashi Ishihara. Yakuza Like a Dragon, developed by Ryu Ga Gotoku Studio, published by Sega, and directed by Ryosuke Hori. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, developed by Ubisoft Montreal, published by Ubisoft, directed by Ashraf Ismail and Eric Baptizat. Doom Eternal, developed by id, published by Bethesda, and game directed by Hugo Martin. So I just posted to the community page on our YouTube page, the community page on our YouTube channels page, many pages, and I put a poll up there, and so we've got the Doom Eternal, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Tetris Effect Connected, Yakuza Like a Dragon, or Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Ori is number one at 36% right now. I just did it, though. It was the last thing that I managed to get out there before we hit the Go Stream button. Too many hats. So Ori, which I felt like that really was a strong contender for the best Xbox game of 2020. It's an extraordinarily beautiful experience. I think the music is, a massive part of your investment into that world. And obviously just sumptuous 2D art with great character designs, lots of great, conversations that you have with all of these foresty type creatures, lots of incredible boss encounters, and Ori is just a badass in the game too. The combat is unbelievable in this thing.
He looks like a little tiny white gremlin. He's just like a little mogwai running around. All of a sudden, he's super badass with extra jump powers and lighting things up.
He's furious.
It's just a beautifully made game.
Yes.
Everything about it is just like, it's something to behold. You're playing, you're like, people are watching it like, what is this? Like, I want to see more of this.
I know. And of course, the enhancements are there if you've got the television horsepower to run it on the Xbox Series X. You get up to 120 frames per second. It's an astounding game, and it's certainly worthy of being in this conversation for Best Xbox Game of the Year. It's not the one that I chose, though. Tetris Effect Connected, we've talked about this a lot, too. This is an incredibly special rendition of Tetris. I think the only thing that holds it back from that acclaim, because it really is, it's a timeless game. And a lot of people, if you ask them their favorite video game of all time, they're going to say Tetris. A lot of people, that's it, right?
It's not a wrong answer.
And it's not a wrong answer. It's an incredible game that has influenced so many things. And this may be the best way to play it, especially with all of the ingenuity and the multiplayer experience and the synesthesia type music and all of the connected bits, not just in the title but in the design as well. It's really impressive.
It's too bad they didn't go with the Connect with a K. Come on, Mr.
Oh, no. They are never going to go with the Connect with the K ever again. That is that's back in the desert with the ET cartridges.
I was trying to install my Kinect on this Xbox Series X, and I'm like, where's the little thing?
Yeah, no need for that. I know, what I liked about Kinect was talking to it. Like, Xbox, record that. Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. So I forget where I am.
No,
stop!
That.
Don't record that. I forget where I am sometimes. I'm literally where I do everything now. I never leave. Anyways, Tetris Effect Connected, not in there. Yakuza Like a Dragon also rocked me. I did not expect to.
I love Yakuza games.
They're amazing games.
Take me to Kamurocho any day.
But
I miss Japan so much. It's just I couldn't go this year.
Totally.
I got to go there through Yakuza. Thank you so much.
Yes, I know. There was that, and there were other games that allowed us to escape to these different worlds. There was the Japan trip. Oh, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is also one of the ones that's up here. But I was completely surprised by and of course Watch Dogs Legion did a perfect rendition of London as well. But I was really surprised by the gameplay of Yakuza Like a Dragon. I didn't expect it to be a full-on JRPG. I thought it was going to be more like the the brawler type sort of mechanics that we'd seen with all kinds of awesome mini games.
Yeah. Not quite.
It's very different than that. Of course, it's connective tissue, and it feels like it's in that universe, but it plays differently. And that was a little bit of a hump to get over for me, because I was expecting. But they've made so many of that style of Yakuza game. I think that this was an excellent direction for them to go, and it's such a great story as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I loved it the fact that they're not just making the same thing over again. They're like, we should try something different.
Yeah.
Let's tweak some things, shake some things up in the Yakuza world.
Well, it's a massive, massive franchise at this point, and Sega's, and who would have thought, right? Because when it started, and I remember Tommy and I reviewing the first one when it came out, and expectation always along the way that this was going to be like a Japanese Grand Theft Auto, but they've always been their own thing. They've stayed in their lane, and they've made their own quirky, fantastic games that also serve as a wicked way to play through the Sega arcade history, which is also like extra benefits of these games. And of course, you get all those in this one too. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, one of the most expensive looking video games I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's just so beautiful, and it's just, you could just tell, like, it's like craftspeople were sitting on the sides of cliffs just painting scenery. They're just like making it all look so perfect and precise, and
that's what they do. For
lots of head chopping as well in that game.
Yeah, lots of limbs getting cut and sliced. For me, it just took too long to become an Assassin's Creed game.
Right.
Like for the huge big portion of the beginning of the game that I've been streaming, it's just like it feels like I'm this badass Viking character.
Right. Yes.
That's just what it feels like. Yeah. And then I got my blade, and just I'm not going to wear it on my front. I'm wear it on the front of my arm. Like, all right, this is a new thing.
Some would argue that those constraints, those Assassin's Creed constraints, are what's holding some of their, clever design ideas and their clever experiences back a bit, because they have to wind their way back to feeling like something familiar. And they almost need to overturn the apple cart and just start from scratch with some of this stuff, or bring out. Mm-hmm. I guess that's what we're gonna see with Skull and Bones. Is it Skull and Bones or Skull and Crossbones?
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones. If that feels like a completely separate pirate experience that's fulfilling in every way, and they didn't need to go into the Assassin's Creed territory, it might open the door for more experimentation that way. As it stands, though, this is an exceptional Viking simulator. You really feel powerful and allied with interesting characters, and you explore gorgeous scenery, and it's sumptuous. It's just a beautiful escape.
It's easy on the eyes.
Yes, and it looks incredible on Xbox Series X. But I think it's clear that our winner is Doom Eternal. And there were a bunch of different reasons why I wanted to give it to Doom Eternal, not the least of which is that Microsoft owns Doom now. and that is just such a big statement, because I was there when Microsoft. Were you part of the show? Not at that point. That was pre G4. So in 2001, we were visiting Microsoft and getting the lowdown on their whole sort of vision for coming out with a console space, or a console that was going to be in this space, and they were going to take on Sony head on, and they wanted to, get the internet connected to people's televisions and be a part of that equation. They saw gaming as a huge conduit to that.
Good call.
Very, very smart. And they had some unbelievably cool first-party titles, and Halo was the big one. But what a long and winding road to them owning the ultimate first-person shooter. The one that, and truly, Doom Eternal is so aptly named. It's a game that we keep going back to for very good reason. And this is such a refined, beautiful work of art, this Doom Eternal. It's a bloody, gory work of art, but it's a work of art.
It's just, there's something magical about the combination of the Doom experience and just the raging murder metal soundtrack. That's just like, I don't know if it's the game, if it's the music, if it's the game and the music combined. Like, I want to play Portal with the soundtrack from Doom and just see if it enhances the experience like I feel like Doom does.
It's glove in hand.
Rip his head off!
I'm liking this soundtrack. This is great. I like it.
Right?
It's awesome. Yeah, no, it's such a tight fit, the music and the visuals and the splatter and the amount of chaos that Doom Eternal delivers. And it looked great on last gen. It looks unbelievable on Xbox Series X, and it just runs so fluidly. And what I was also really impressed when I went back to look at it on the new machines is the multiplayer too, which I didn't really get into that much when I first checked it out. But I really wanted to taste it again, and you really do. I mean, it's just there's blood everywhere. But it is fantastic. It's just a phenomenal game, and it's Xbox's now, and it's their toy to share.
It's crazy.
You know, they can decide whether they want to or not. And we'll see what happens with Halo Infinite next year. If that doesn't work out quite the way that they want it to, they have a whole other Space Marine.
You got Infinite, Eternal, Infinite, Eternal.
Well, yes,
Which one's going to last the test of time?
And what's going to happen if there's crossover, you know? And how long until Master
Haloom?
Chief... Yeah.
I'll play Haloom.
Well, certainly, I mean, what I'm learning from all of these independent studios, when I talk to developers that work with them, I interviewed Craig Duncan from Rare, and they're all having summits. You know, they're all sharing. So, like, he's been meeting with Obsidian and with Bethesda folks.
They're doing this. They're zooming.
They're zooming. Yeah, they're not traveling, but they're
zooming and dooming.
and they are sharing. So I mean, we saw the Perfect Dark reveal at the Game Awards last week. By the way, our exclusive trailer reveal was Spelunky 1 and 2 on Nintendo Switch in 2021. There it is, exclusive
next
premiere.
summer.
We're running it twice.
In case you forgot, next summer, Spelunky, not just 1, but Spelunky 2 on the Switch.
Oh my God, that's awesome. So congratulations, Doom Eternal. You more than justified your win as the best Xbox experience of 2020. And let's see what happens in 2021 with Xbox, man. I'm really excited to see, you know, all the cylinders, all the pistons just going.
I'm ready to start my dreams, Vic.
I know.
I'm ready to start these dreams.
I know, right? Super cool. Is that Fubar, Super Agent 0010? Is
I
asking.
certainly hope so.
I certainly hope so.
That guy's
too.
a good-looking son of a bitch.
What's a YouTube's asking? Doom Eternal a fast-paced, or saying is Doom Eternal an awesome fast-paced spectacle, and it doesn't get bogged down to tell some pretentious story. In fact, the storytelling, what's a YouTube great comment, is really about you sort of destroying these different religious figures, you know, the sort of demonic creatures. You walk up to them and crush their skull. It's like they start talking to you, and then you, as Doom guy, walks over and just
Kalima,
rip and tear. It's amazing. Let's see. Haven't played an AC game in years. Having a hard time deciding between Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. An Assassin's Creed game in years. I thought we were talking about Animal Crossing. Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. That is a very good conundrum to have, Hubert Barton. What would you say?
Yeah. I see. That's the thing. Like, I remember Egypt was Origins, right?
Yep.
I remember playing through, or like powering through Origins, and I had a good time. I can't really remember Odyssey.
But
I remember playing it.
It's
because it was the same time Super Mario Odyssey came out, and
Yeah.
my streams, I was just like, I'm going from Odyssey to Odyssey. I have no idea what the hell's happening.
It was so overwhelming, though, and I feel like they get overwhelming in Valhalla, but they surprise you. It's like you know, they don't light up every icon. They sort of boop 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 boop, and then it just keeps going. You know, but Odyssey is like you open the map and you're like, oh my God, this is my full-time job for a while.
That's how I feel.
You know what?
That's how I feel right now about Cyberpunk. It's just everything.
I know. When I look in the map of that, it's like, oh my God. But I think I would start with Origins, even though it's a little dated and they've improved everything.
It just sounds like the good one. Just Origins.
Yeah.
Probably the one you want to start with.
It is definitely the new era of Assassin's Creed. You know, it's like they kind of wiped the slate clean on all of the different paths that they took. It's a great game as well. We've got an EP Discord. Okay, yes, I'm going to drop that in real quick right here. I shouldn't have done that. We got to open up stuff. Okay. Vic, how do the super fans find the way to the EPN Discord? Oh, yeah, Solitaire 01. Okay, we got a couple of people asking about that. Rex, Jose Fubu Sanchez, are you a fan of the new... Oh, geez, come on.
I don't know what that is, but the PS5 is humongous.
It is humongous.
It's huge. It's like a spaceship, man. I was like, spaceship.
Okay, I think this is the EPN Discord. Come on by. It's kind of like the EPN after party. There you go.
There it is.
Perry's in there. Sam I Am 111. Daredevil TTV. Is it just me, or does Jose look like and sound like Pat McAfee. Who
Pat
is that?
McAfee,
Don't know
the
who
football
that is.
announcer. It's Pat McAfee, isn't he? Oh, Pat McAfee, like the guy who's on NXT. He used to be a kicker.
Is that true?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy was a kicker, and then he kicked a wrestler in the face. He kicked Adam Cole, baby, in the face. now he's wrestling. Now he's on NXT, so he's living my dream right now. Do the damn thing, Pat. Unless it's like I'm completely wrong.
It's okay.
I could be wrong. It's happened before today.
We're in Zoom space. There, it's just you and me, buddy.
There's
Nobody
no one
can
else
correct
here.
us.
No one else watching this.
We'll fix it in post, anyways. There is no post, and there will be no post in tomorrow's show. But we're gonna have a good one tomorrow. It's all about PC games. Best
You know what you can
action
play on PC?
adventure. Pardon me?
Spelunky 2.
Oh, Spelunky 2's on PC. Best action adventure and best remake/remaster, which is a huge category in 2020. So please come back for that. It's at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. My guest co-host tomorrow is going to be Mr. Steve Tilley. So we're going through the EP fam, and I can't wait to see him and get into all of that stuff. But thank you so much, Fubar. This was awesome. We
Always
will
a
see
pleasure.
you in 2021. I'm definitely going to be reaching out and doing this a little bit more often. I've been having a blast this week. You are the best, as are you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being an EPN member. Thank you for your support. We will see you tomorrow. And until then, play forever.